totally lied last week. That's not the last time you were going to hear it, but I'm here with my buddy Kevin, who has not heard it, so that's why you heard it. And now back to the original intro.
Welcome to Weekly Talk. Featuring Danny
and Chris.
All right, it's episode 26. I'm here with Kevin, Danny, and myself. Kevin, introduce yourself.
Kevin Harsh.
From where?
Warren.
Warren?
Yeah, man. What's up?
All right, so what do you want to talk about today? Well, he's all right. Obviously, he's the guest host of the week. Danny has not said anything yet. I don't know why.
Hello. Because I can barely hear myself when I talk.
Well, you don't need to hear yourself.
Well, how do I know if I'm loud enough?
I can tell you.
Okay.
All right. So none of us are too loud right now. None of us are too quiet. Hopefully, I don't have to edit that later. The new Eminem album. That's what Kevin is here for. We'll get to that. But I guess we'll just open this up as we open every week with the voicemail from Brittany. So here that is.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Chris. It's your question asker, Brittany. My weekly question would be, like, you know how TV shows have, like, theme songs, and some of them are catchy and jazz. Do you remember them? I just wanted to know if your life was a theme song, what would be that song? So, that's going to be a little bit confusing, so I'm going to restate it. Okay, so, your life, a song that just, like, I guess, like, defines, you know, your life, and it becomes your theme song. So, okay, so, yep, that's my question. I'll see y'all guys next week with another question. Okay, bye.
All right, so I thought what you meant was that I had to make up my own theme song. And Danny thought what you meant was, like, if a song were her theme song, what would it be? So I made up my own. And maybe throughout this podcast I can figure out, like, if a song were my own, what would it be, I guess. But here is my theme song. It goes... He's mean and he's rude, but he thinks he's that dude. He's an asshole. He tries to be nice, but it's cold as ice. He's an asshole. Somehow he got a wife for the rest of his life. He's an asshole. And yeah, it's pretty much that would have been it.
Which I thought was a real song, but
yeah, she thought it was pretty catchy, so that was.
Wait, didn't Dennis Leary have a song like that?
Oh, he might.
It's something similar.
But so I listen to Elvis Duran a lot, and they have a guy named Uncle Johnny, and I followed the melody for his intro. It goes, he's old and he's gay, and he wears a toupee. So I kind of just stole their melody, but whatever. Danny, what would your theme song be?
Well, I didn't make one up. I already told you. It took me a minute to figure out, but I think one of the theme songs in my life would be Save That Money by Little Dicky.
Save That Money.
That's a good one.
By Little Dicky. Because she's true.
I'm cheap.
She's cheap as fuck. The proper term is frugal.
I'm cheap.
What about you, Kevin? We kind of caught him off guard.
Yeah.
I thought I sent him the voicemail last night. Clearly did not. Well, my phone shows I did. His phone shows I didn't. So I'm thinking somebody might have deleted something and just tried to play it. And I'm just joking.
I have never deleted a text message in my entire life. I still have text messages from 2005. Okay.
I cannot say the same.
I was going to say, Chris deletes
I
as
used
soon
to
as
be
you
a
see
shady
it.
character
Oh, yeah.
with my wife.
So I think that mine would end up being Forever by Drake, Lil Wayne.
Sure not by Chris Brown?
No, not by Chris Brown.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. Like, that right there, it's, yeah, I want this shit forever. I want to live for forever. It's a fucking good time. And it's a banger.
Last name ever.
First name great. It's like a sprained ankle, boy. I ain't nothing to play with.
All right, cool. Where you at, Danny? Hopping, not hook.
Oh no.
All right.
You're the singer.
What do you got for us, Danny? What do you got as far as what's going on in the world?
Well, I don't know if you just read that Ozzy Osbourne just announced that he has Parkinson's.
Couldn't tell.
I mean, I kind of thought he already had it.
Not to be a dick, but like,
yeah.
When you and Michael J. Fox can't stand still in the same room, you got a problem.
Stop.
No, I'm just fucking with you guys. No, man. So whenever I went to Afghanistan, there was this guy who had really horrible handwriting, and he engraved his name on his like pocket or on his Zippo. He engraved it by himself, right? And Sergeant Bell, I'll never forget this. He'd be like, "Who the fuck you have do that? Michael J. Fox?"
Oh.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So no, I did not read that. Actually, I haven't really looked at the news lately. You got any interesting headline news to talk about, Kevin?
No, I really don't. I mean, you have the impeachment thing that's going on. That's kind of big right now. No, I don't have anything, man. I try to stay away from the news. It's all depressing.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You give me something. You give me something positive to talk about. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at it then. But
MGK wrecked his purple Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you read about that?
I mean, I didn't read about it, but pretty much all the people I follow
All the
it.
followers that we have are pretty much MGK followers.
Mm-hmm.
So we hear a lot.
I get
about
their
him.
news, and that's where I heard it.
oh, dude, let's talk about something real quick. Let's talk about my boy Delonte West.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my goodness. So, all right, he was in Cleveland. He was a Cavalier. Long story short, the first time he left, there was that rumor that he was messing around with LeBron's mom.
Ooh.
Right?
How old is this guy?
Oh, like he's probably like our age.
Oh.
He's our age.
Ooh.
That's just one of those terrible rumors, right? So, this dude.
Dude, what kind of phone is that, man? Because, like, I'm trying to look at his screen,
but
like, I can't see it. That's so dope. Is that, like, your phone protector? Or?
Yeah, it's just a screen protector. It's a privacy
That's cool
screen.
as shit.
Yeah, it's just a privacy screen.
I could definitely hit the spank bank at work. I'm just joking.
Yeah, you could. Just make sure they don't look directly at it. They kinda,
Yeah. Everybody listening, that never happens.
I hope not.
Ever.
That's disturbing.
Danny, I swear.
Sometimes you just gotta get the poison out. Doesn't matter where. Doesn't
Out
matter
of
when.
work? No,
Hey,
thank you.
It's poison.
Yeah, so we've never talked about sports, so we're gonna let Kevin finish what the fuck he was talking about before I cut him off.
No, I'm trying to get this video to load real quick so I can show it to you because it's heavy, man. It's heavy.
Does it contain any copyrighted material that I wouldn't be allowed to play on the podcast?
No, because
Cool.
it's a Twitter video.
All right, cool.
It's just a recording of him in handcuffs after he got beat for throwing the glass bottle at somebody. I guess it was like a buddy of his. But he's been known to have mental what's the word I'm looking for?
Bipolar?
No, like all sorts of issues. We'll say.
I thought he was gonna go with Alzheimer's, Danny, when he said all, but that's clearly not what he was going with. Before we get too far, we're gonna go ahead and check something. It's not gonna affect you guys listening, so it doesn't matter.
Snakes on my life,
What?
man. Alright,
Why'd you hit him? Did he attack you first with the self-defense, or did you hit him?
man. I walked down the street, gun.
Where's his gun at?
I don't give.
Okay. Do you know where his gun is?
I don't give. Young
That's the
Jack,
basketball player?
Yeah.
I'm the leader of the bar. Name Sales.
This fucking
And the
dude.
home. And the
He looks like a fucking crackhead.
President Trump. I'm president.
This is edited.
Okay.
He starts screaming,
I'm right
I'm
now.
the motherfucking
I'm
president.
the leader. All the gang.
He's the motherfucking dude
What
on
happened?
some acid or something. What
Dude.
the fuck?
Dude, like, people are talking about
Oh,
how...
former NBA player, because clearly he don't look very well right now.
No.
What the fuck is that?
No.
Did you hear that, Danny? Did you catch
Yeah.
all that? He is motherfucking Trump, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he's like talking about like I'm fucking Trump and not. Maybe I don't know.
Nah, he said he the leader of the free world.
Oh, well, that's cool then.
Fuck the free world.
Yeah.
313. We dropping all the M references today. All of them.
Yeah. I knew what you was there. All right, we there. All right, so the most talked about thing over the last couple of days clearly was Eminem releasing Music to Be Murdered by another unannounced album. Kamikaze did the same thing. Revival had a little bit of promo, but nothing like super crazy. And another, it's about to set him a record, like a super fucking awesome record. So I guess we'll just head into this talk. What do you want to say about how extensive do you want to talk about this CD?
Oh, that was on me. My bad. I thought Danny was going to chime in on that one.
Doesn't chime in on that.
My bad. So, like, for me, we can talk about this one for a minute because we can go and break down bars because, oh my God.
So did you write down, like, your favorite bars or no?
So, no, I didn't write them down because I've listened to the album so damn much in the last 4 days that I have 3 off the top of my head. Number 1, when he looks and he says, I'm looking up to myself like a headstand. Mm-hmm. He's not saying a headstand. He's the headstand.
Yeah. So if we're gonna go with the wordplay, my favorite is on Stepdad. All right, he's talking about like he wants to kill his stepdad. His stepdad killed his chihuahua, which I'd be pissed. Look how cute that little motherfucker is. Yeah, man, Kumar, man, we got Kumar. You guys wouldn't even know it, but he's in the room chilling on Kevin, and he ain't breathing heavy. But so he talks about his stepdad killing his dog and how he wants to kill him. And then he says, like we did with my dog, I'm talking euthanasia, like them kids in Taiwan.
And then it's a war zone. Yeah. It's like Saigon.
Yeah.
Then me and my mom let bygones be.
But euthanasia, youth in Asia. I was like, oh, you motherfucker.
Listen, the one that got me the most was when he was he goes, these kids are reminding me of eyeballs. My pupils are getting cornea.
Yeah, I like that. I really wish, dude, most of you guys listening really don't fuck with Eminem like super hard, but you fuck with us and I respect that. And you knew that I was going to talk about it. So sorry. I wish we could play some though, man. I wish we could play music because there's just so many really, really good bars.
And for me, like when you start talking about hip hop, that's what I need. I need bars. I want wordplay. I want metaphors. I want flow. That has to be in your songs in order for it to be real hip hop. And that's the difference between rap and hip hop in my eyes. Yeah, you have your mumble rappers now, but that's not rap. That's rap music. That's not hip hop. Stay out of my hip hop genre. That's all that there is to it. You go, you do you. I'm gonna stick with Kendrick, J. Cole, Little Dicky got bars.
Little Dicky got bars.
Little Dicky got bars. One of my favorite freestyles of all time is him on Sway.
All right, dude, I'm gonna change your mind real quick on that. We'll be right back, guys. All right, so I showed Kevin Chris Webby's Shade 45 freestyle. What were your thoughts?
I really wish that we had like a Canon camera sitting right here so we can just do a reaction video behind it.
That's coming, dude. That's coming.
Oh my God, mind blown, bar after bar after bar. And listen, just like Shay said, if you ain't coming with fucking bars, go home.
Right.
I need bars.
So, while we were doing that, I Googled some of my favorite lyrics by Eminem on the new CD. One of my favorites was, bitch, if I was half as good as I was, I'm still twice as good as you'll ever be. Only way that you're ahead of me is alphabetically, because if you diss me, I'm coming after you like the letter V. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. There was just, 8 different things there.
Bar.
Darkness. The fact that Darkness, the whole song, is like a double entendre is... just the whole idea. Like, it's either him from the perspective of Eminem as a rapper or him from the perspective of, the Vegas shooter.
And the way that he did that, like, I'm going to chime in on this real quick. The way that shows you his mind. M is when I say the GOAT, with this album, in my eyes, I get it, my own personal opinion is my own personal opinion. I put him as the best rapper ever. When you start talking about the hip-hop genre, I put him ahead of Tupac. I put him ahead of Biggie. I put him ahead of Jay-Z, Nas, Lil Wayne, all of them. with this album, he is now number 1 in my book.
I'd have to say he's been number 1 for me for probably a long time. Just the technical skill. He's the book that people want to study. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely. And the thing that gets me is when people ask you that question, is like, oh, because I love to kind of poke people and ask them about that. For me, it's so many different. You can't tell me that Andre 3000 means as much to the culture as a Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Which I love Andre. Don't get me wrong. He is one of the greatest rappers alive. But
he's one of the greatest to Atlanta. You know what I mean? He's no doubt that he's one of the greatest rappers alive. But like you said, what kind of impact has he had?
In the culture, right. But when I start looking at when you start talking about lyricists, because I always ask that question, I say, you want the top 5 of what? What they mean to the culture? Lyricists, flow, wordplay, metaphors. There's so many different ways, because you can't tell me that Tech 9 doesn't belong in the top 5 when you start talking about lyricists and flows.
Right, no doubt. Like his Speed Up, More Wide Choppers 3.
Right.
That Eminem's verse impressed me on that too, though.
And that's when I go, M is the greatest of all time, because what he meant to the culture. Look what he's done. He's paved the way for Token.
Every white rapper out there, no doubt, hands down. MGK, all these people who hate on Eminem because they like MGK. He wouldn't be here without Eminem.
He completely changed the
game. He might
game.
be here, but he wouldn't be as widely accepted.
Most definitely. Because before Eminem, you had who? Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. And
Vanilla Ice. Yeah, Danny chimed in. What the fuck?
You guys are talking about stuff I don't...
Here's how I put it. Eminem, the reason I think he's one of the greatest, or if not the greatest, find me a song that he's featured on and tell me it's not his.
Ooh. M goes last for a reason.
Yeah.
M goes last for a reason.
You ask for 16, you get 32. You know what I mean? Like,
what I actually liked about the album, since I only got to listen to it once, is that he has a song with Young Ma, which I can't even fathom that. The Unaccommodating song.
Yeah, Young M.A.
Yeah, well, I call her Young Ma.
So
I don't care. But I just can't believe that.
She's hard, too.
Yeah, she is hard.
Danny and I love her Fetty Wap. Mm-hmm. Or no, Petty Wap. It's not Fetty Wap. Yeah. Petty Wap. Oh, that's a good-ass song.
But you know what even really gets me about that? Is you notice that, like, he's kind of took from Kamikaze. Now, I'm not calling... saying Juice WRLD is a mumble rapper.
Juice WRLD is a mumble rapper. He's a SoundCloud rapper, which is associated with mumble rapper.
Well, was rip.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rest in peace, Juice.
Had I gotten more shit like you got on Godzilla, I probably would have fucked with Juice WRLD more.
True. I'll give you that. And then, but what he's done is he's kind of, from his last album, he made it seem like, and I get it. What was it?
Chris.
In one of the tracks, he was like, I don't hate trap, but
it ain't for me.
Right.
He said that something about Lil Yachty. No, that ain't a diss, but it ain't for me.
Right. So, and then what he's done with this album is he goes, all right, you know what? Let me bring in some of these new heads. Got Juice WRLD on the track. Got Young Ma on the track.
Dude, there was a couple names that actually impressed me like that. Don, what was it, like Don Terrell or some shit like that? Go ahead, Danny.
I know this is going to be unpopular opinion, but I really wish he would just keep Ed Sheeran off his music.
What?
I don't
Girl,
like...
I told you I like everything.
Know.
Don Toliver. That was a good... he has an awesome fucking, like, R&B cadence. I know, Danny. But
I don't hate Ed Sheeran, but I don't think Eminem and Ed Sheeran should be making songs together.
So did you not like...
I didn't hate it, but I just don't...
I know you hated River.
Yes, I hated River. But this one's not as bad. But I don't feel like they mix well together. I don't.
Listen,
I don't
when
care.
he said this track is taking me back to my D12 days...
Even the beat was D12 days.
I'm in my car just getting hyped.
Hello, Toledo. Miss Ohio. I was like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Oh, man. Like... Bars. That's all there is to it. Bars.
All right.
Bars.
So you said you've ran through the CD how many times?
I can't count to you.
You see that? I have it streaming on Spotify quietly in the background so that he keeps getting views.
Oh, my man.
He's a cheater.
Nah, dude, I want him to get that 10th consecutive #1 studio album. Like, come on, man. If that doesn't say that he's one of the best to ever do it, then I don't know what does it. The only one that didn't go #1 was his very first major label, which was Slim Shady LP, and it's because nobody knew who he was.
Right.
But it did go #2.
Yeah, but I just found that CD in my basement. I was cleaning up my basement. I opened up this box, and boom, there it was. And I got butterflies because that's a CD that I had for it came out in 99. So we're looking at 20 years.
Dude, I just went out of my way to buy a cassette of it. I mean, it actually did just hit its 20-year anniversary last couple months ago. So what is your favorite song on it?
Just like everybody, Godzilla, man. It has to be. But I mean, also I do the Ed Sheeran track. The Ed Sheeran track's fire.
The one I like a lot is something. Here, I'm looking at the track. Oh, You Go and Learn with Royce da 5'9", and White Gold. That White Gold can sing, dude. I look for a mashup. I don't look just like I like the straight bars, but I like to have something that I can nod my head to. You know what I mean? Like, so. All right. Everybody listening knows where Danny and I stand on Rap Devil versus Killshot. Mm-hmm. Where do you stand?
Rest in peace, Machine Gun Kelly.
All right. Now, that is definitely an unpopular opinion with most of our listeners, but we like that everybody has an opinion. I wouldn't say Killshot. I don't think either of them won, honestly. I think commercially successful both hits were. They both earned quite a bit of a following, both earned quite a bit of money. But the way I put it is Rap Devil was made more like a song that you would want to replay. It has more replay value, whereas Killshot, the complexity of it has more rewind value, and that is what I look for when I listen to hip hop.
Okay, I can get you with that because when Rap Devil came out, it was a very, very, very good effort. Like, I felt that MGK, he put together a song that was creative,
able to stand up to Eminem. Maybe not beat, but stand up.
Listen, out of Benzino, Ja Rule.
Who?
Right. No, that was the best that anyone has ever tried to go at Eminem.
Now, I'll say Ja Rule did have, yo, M, you say Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up, or some shit like that? Your mom is a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? That was good, but that was the only good part of a song.
Right. You know what? I forgot about that.
So, but Rap Devil in my eyes is probably the most, the biggest diss Eminem's ever had come at him.
Yeah, but then, hey, I'm sorry you want me to have a heart attack. I was watching 8 Mile on my Nordic track.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. There was just. All right, so there's a movie. It is called Killshot, all right? And it is about a character whose name is Wayne Coulson, who he's like this guy who's trying to be murdered. Like they have a hit on him or some shit. I don't know the theory, but he might have been able to do that cuz MGK's real name is, Coulson Baker. So he might have Killshot might have more than just what we know.
And that's the thing that I love about M is it's not just one thing. It's not just him looking at it. If he's going to go after you, he's going to break you down. And he's going to absolutely destroy a career. Like that's what
he even said it. I had to give you a career to destroy one. I wouldn't say he destroyed Kells. MGK is definitely striving. He had a number 5 debut with his last album. That binge should have waited to put that out.
Yeah.
You should have came with that Hotel Diablo before that binge, and maybe you would have got more respect.
I'm not talking shit on MGK in any regards. I'm looking at it in the whole drama, we'll call it, of that whole thing, that whole feud, we'll call it, to where, it was kind of awkward if you really think about it. Like, it was awkward for a minute.
Now, because it was you had stands versus people who claim to be a part of. There's MGK's following is called EST,
Right.
So you had Stans versus EST, and then you had people who were like in the middle, kind of like, oh, I fuck with both. So that's where I stand. I tried not to. Yeah, man, rap game was. That's all anybody was talking about for probably a month.
Then you had like the whole Nick Cannon thing that just happened.
That was garbage. All right,
That was-
so
Yeah.
at least
You gotta fight
MGK warranted a response, whereas Nick Cannon, dude, you tried to dig up some old bullshit ass about racism, and you still didn't get a fucking response.
Right.
You know, my favorite, like, I can't remember which track it was right now, to where he was talking about, it was on the Music to Be Murdered By. It was towards the end of the album. He has the bar to where it goes, some of them I had to give him a killed shot.
Some of them I nicked them.
Some of them I barely even nicked them.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't know. I feel like even though he did mention kill shot, later on he says...
he dropped MGK's name in there a few times.
But at the very end of that song, he goes on to say, I regret replying. I should have just targeted the fake one. So I don't know if he's like... Because he did say he squashed the beef. And I'm a wishful thinker and hoping that we're going to get like a MGK, Eminem collaboration one day.
Ooh, here we go. You said the word collaboration. I got a fun one for you. If you can make a collaboration out of any artist, we'll say, give me 4 artists you want a collaboration from. Go.
Eminem, Logic, MGK, and G-Eazy.
Ooh, that was quick.
I've thought about this plenty of times.
Okay, here we go. So when the whole Joyner Lucas, did you see that he sent out that tweet when the whole Nick Cannon diss thing was going on? He said, "Hey, be careful before I get King Los."
Yeah. That's kind of
Logic.
where that's when I started thinking about it.
Okay, so I said, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this $10 million to make this album. I need Joyner, I need Kendrick."
Oh, you're talking about a whole project?
Yeah, I want a whole project.
Holy
that's
shit.
only for me.
Then I need a 5th. I'll need Black Bear on there too.
That's only for me. Like, you can't even listen to it. Kind of like, you remember when Wu-Tang with their
get the
last
fuck
album?
out of here with. Yeah, but you know who it went to? Come on, dude. I think Elon Musk was talking about purchasing it to drop it for free.
Oh, no shit. But
Yeah,
that was like,
I don't know if he followed through.
no, because that was
Obviously
like one of the stipulations. Like, you couldn't, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what
like, you had to drop-
Martin Shkreli or whatever his name is.
Oh, no shit.
Shkreli. Yeah, the fucking guy who jacked up the fucking diabetes shit or the cancer shit.
Stop.
Yeah, that Martin Shkreli. Ain't that who? Danny, come on.
What?
Is that the guy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who jacked up the cancer pill?
I don't know.
Yeah, Martin Shkreli is an American businessman, former hedge fund manager, and convicted felon.
Nice.
He was a co-founder. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he was convicted on. Yeah, he has something to do with farm. Yeah, they call him Pharma Bro. Because he jacked up some fucking pill that these cancer patients needed every month.
No shit.
Yeah, he jacked up the price like just to where you couldn't afford it.
There's a special place in hell for those people. There's
Yeah.
like the EpiPen people.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Where do you stand on that, Danny? Should the EpiPen be an expensive drug?
No, and we've already talked about that. People are dicks.
Look, we're trying to make you be a
Well,
part of
once
this
we
fucking
start
episode.
getting moving off the Eminem MGK
All
thing,
right,
I'll
yeah,
start.
look, we should just
we
transition.
just we
because
went on a
I
little
can
rant.
do.
All right, so favorite
I don't even know.
song
It's
is
probably been
Godzilla.
30 minutes. I mean,
It has actually. It's been 28:45. Thank you
Yeah.
for asking. What is your favorite song on that CD, Danny?
What, the Eminem?
Yeah.
Oh, Godzilla, because of the beat.
Yeah,
I
that
love
beat
that
is
beat.
hard. That beat is hard, but I like Stepdad. Stepdad's probably gonna be like a really close second, if not. And then Darkness, just the eerie. I don't want to pick a favorite.
And I like the
honestly.
accommodating song because I really
Lock It
do
Up's
like
really
that.
good too. Anderson .Paak almost had a Kendrick Lamar sound, so that was kind of cool.
Did you see what was that? What in the oh shit,
He's getting there, guys.
the Fat Joe.
The Fat Joe song that Eminem had with him.
No, like, it just came out.
Well,
Lord Above.
Eminem featured on that.
Eminem featured on it, and he goes, "Hey, rest in peace." Something about Anderson .Paak. He goes, "Rest in peace to Afeni and her son Pac."
Oh, that is good.
Like,
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Let's see. Back to the Nick Cannon thing. We're gonna go back all the way to Mariah Carey's "The Warning." He said, gonna ruin my career. You better get one. That was my favorite bar. Not even bar, just line.
So I mean, you have to be able to lip sync on for what is it, New Year's Eve?
Yeah. Oh man.
So the hoodie that I got on right now. All right,
everybody. I'll take a picture. Stand up.
Oh, I got the dog.
Yeah, take a picture with him.
Dog.
Take a picture with him. We're taking a picture of. Actually, I could just pause this. So you guys don't need to hear us taking a picture. All right, so we took a picture of Kevin's shirt, which says, "Hip hop is a culture, not a color."
And the cool thing about it, you got black, brown, red, yellow, and white.
I want you guys to know, you'll see it in the picture, Kevin is a black man. For him to be wearing this shirt actually speaks volumes.
So it kind of goes with the whole Nick Cannon thing that we were just talking about. Because Nick Cannon ended up doing the invitations canceled.
Right.
Trying to play the whole race card shit, right? Mm-hmm. So then right after that, this YouTuber named Mises.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude. He fucking went with that heat. He said, I've been paying rent in this house for years, shit like that. I was like, get the fuck up out of here. Yeah, he went hard.
So, what was it? It was one of the YouTubers I follow, No Life Shaq.
Oh man, no doubt.
It's
what
your
about
boy? It's your.
Do you fuck with Laid Back?
That. No.
Laid Back is kind of. I think he brings that heat better than No Life. But no, we ain't gonna start a reaction war between anybody. No.
But yeah, so I saw that video and I saw that hoodie that he had. He was wearing this hoodie in the video, and I go, I have to cop it. I need that hoodie in my wardrobe because that's what it is. Hip hop is not a color; it's a culture. You have hip hop heads, okay? You need to be able to sit there, and just because you don't agree with the music or you can't relate to it, doesn't mean that it's not good music to someone. And I get the whole, well, what about the mumble rap? We was just talking about that. You were just this and that. Because that's not rap. That's not hip hop. I mean, that's not the culture.
It falls under, it's more of your club fucking, well, I don't know, man. I think it's just the fact that millennials want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear shit that you got to think about. They don't want to hear, Kendrick Lamar's conscious hits, fucking. They just want a banger.
Let's talk about Lupe. Lupe is one of the most influential artists in hip hop as a whole.
When's the last time he put anything out?
Like a year ago.
Lupe, I do know Lasers. I think he had to fund that project himself because he didn't want to do it the way the label wanted him to. Danny knows Lupe because I fuck with Lupe hard. What do you want to talk about, Danny? Because you've been quiet for 32 minutes and 55 seconds.
Whenever you guys are done talking about this, I have nothing to.
How do you feel about hip hop? Fuck the Eminem talk. How do you feel about where hip hop currently stands?
I like it, but I'm part of that genre that likes to listen to bangers, and I don't really follow the lyrics, and you already know that.
That's where I'm indifferent. I fuck with 21 Savage. And I used to think that I used to categorize him as a mumble rapper. And then I started deciphering what the fuck he was saying. Like Chris Webby said, if you could say it to where I'd understand it, I'd enjoy it better. And when I start understanding it, I enjoy it better. So, yeah, I mean, some of these mumble rappers are kind of stepping away from the mumble rap because I think that's just a fad.
Oh, most definitely.
It's not going to stick around forever. It did skyrocket hip-hop to be the #1 genre in the United States, though.
Yeah, because I think people are starting to, everybody wants to talk about like being awake and woke that, woke this. I think what is more now is you have people who are sitting there, they want that lyricism. They want the wordplay. They want to hear Eminem drop how many words? 229 words in 30 seconds?
And that's another thing. I can barely understand the motherfucker saying
syllables.
Anything. I don't like to replay anything, so I have to hear it like loud and clear. And Chris, did you catch that? If he has to go back another second, I don't want to listen to it anymore.
So, and I respect that.
I cannot follow you when you're rapping to the speed of fucking light.
Like almost like where MGK. He has some pretty fast bars, and those are my favorites because that's what I look for.
How do you even get it? Because you replay.
Yes,
I mean, you stop and go. I hate that. Yeah, I should be able to hear it first pass and be like, oh damn, that's a good bar. Not da 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 da. Oh, okay, let me repeat that and listen to the first two words and then have to repeat it again. That's annoying in my eyes.
Okay, Danny.
Okay, Chris.
Okay, Danny.
Okay.
Danny, okay.
Okay, Chris.
Okay, time out.
To be fair,
Okay, time out.
to be fair, right now, what is your currently, aside from any new releases, what is your favorite hip hop song on any playlist you have?
Oh, come on.
You gotta know it.
No, I don't have like.
You don't have
something-
like one that just.
I mean, J. Cole's London. I like that song, but that's not.
Shit. Then I'm guess Middle Child would probably be one of my tops right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at, Kevin? Aside from Eminem's new release, what was your favorite thing to listen to?
Oh, I was huge on Joyner, man. I have a Joyner playlist on my YouTube channel, like, that goes for days. When you Jesus, his Gucci Gang remix murdered it.
All right, so where did you stand on the Joyner versus Tory Lanez?
I was gonna say Tory Lanez is my dude too. The Freaky song, I like that song too.
Yeah,
I love Tory Lanez.
I got in on the tail end of it. Yeah, and that's what I got from it. It was I kind of got in on the tail end of that because when all of that was going on, I was just kind of like how I just told you about Yellow Wolf and Royce. So it was just like, wait, what? What? That doesn't make sense.
It seems weird to me, both being shady aftermath. Yellow Wolf went independent a couple months ago, but it's just weird. What are you trying to look out the window for, Danny?
I'm not trying to look out the window. I'm trying to open it.
Oh, she must be dying of that heat up in here.
I don't want to open the door.
Because we're dropping fire.
Yeah, man, this is probably gonna be one of the best podcasts we ever put out. Danny has to start participating more, so let's hop off of this Eminem shit. Everybody, if you fuck with him, definitely stream this fucking shit because, it's gonna go number one with or without you, so it might as well be with you. Again, sorry to everybody who listens to us for the MGK talk.
Yeah,
I will say this. MGK has some pretty fast bars as well, like Chip Off the Block. I don't know. I like hip hop, man. I don't like to put myself in a box of what I like. I just like music. If I like it and if I hear it and I like it, then I'll listen to it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, I get it. I'm guilty of rocking out to Lil Yachty. You give me some Lil Boat. Like,
I listened to Kyle and Lil Yachty. What was that one song, Danny? Man, fuck them kids.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's him
I Spy.
I Spy.
Yeah, dude, everybody was on that shit.
So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm guilty of it, but I'm letting the internet and all of your fans know, but shit, don't tell my people.
Yeah, man, don't tell his mom, man, because the intellect that shit brings.
Oh, hey, she told me to tell you hi, by the way.
Hi.
She said that she loves you and she misses you. You need to stop over and see her.
She still got that picture of me in the army uniform sitting in the living room?
No, I think
then she don't love me no more.
I think it moved to the breezeway. I don't think it's in the living room no more. Not the breezeway, the sunroom.
Fuck yeah, she used to always bitch that I had a cigarette in my mouth.
Well, she'll be happy to know you not smoking.
Kevin's mom was the very first person that said that I had beautiful blue eyes. And from that day forward, I was like, yep, that's my best quality.
My mom was not trying to get into your pants.
I know.
She's a happily married woman for 35 years. Hey, Pop.
And Pops is cock D's, so I ain't trying to fuck with that shit anyway, dude. Pops is... I used to go over there before he'd get ready for work, and that dude would be working. He'd just slam that fucking shit. I was scared.
Yeah, we go back a ways.
Yeah, we do, man. We go back a long way.
What, 6th grade?
I remember your mom saying, "Who smells like cigarettes?" And I'm like, well, that would be me. But it's cool because my mom lets me do it. So we got ourselves a mutual understanding here or what?
We were like, 17 at the time? 16, 17,
we were young,
like that?
We were young.
Oh, man.
That was before we went to Toledo to check out colleges.
You know what? Hey, one of my fondest memories of, like, our friendship, no lie, would be when I would... Sorry, Mom. When I would go and tell my mom, hey, I'm going to go stay the night over at Chris's house, I would go meet up with some people with... a female or two. And then what I would do is I would fall asleep. I would go and park my car in your driveway. And I would be like, yeah, well, technically I did stay the night over at Chris's house. I just never was in the house. I just slept in the driveway.
Get the fuck up out of here, dude. Get the fuck up out of here. Nah, we can go on for days about the dumb shit we did. I'm not gonna put you under that bus though. Oh man, yeah. So Danny, what else you got for us then? Since you wanted to hop off that Eminem topic.
Well, you want to talk about the Mac Miller album
All
at
right.
all?
So I do believe that it's a general agreement in this room that album was not complete.
Right. Obviously. Like, it needed to be, like, we were talking about mastered. It just sounds like it's very raw, in my opinion.
I think that the producer, what's his name, Broden?
Josh Brino or
Josh
something like
Brino, Broden, something like
whatever,
that.
yeah.
I think that he did a decent job with it.
I think so. Those beats, I mean, I don't know if, like, those were decided beats, like, he sang on or what. I don't know. But those beats were pretty good.
Yeah, like, what was it? Blue World?
Yeah.
Blue World is probably the number one talked about song on the album. It's one of my favorites.
I like Circles.
There's nothing on the album that really stands out.
Well, no, because, I mean, I don't think he was planning on dying
no
anytime
disrespect.
soon.
However,
like,
I told Kevin this yesterday, and he found somebody on Reddit who said the same thing. I said to him that it's written. The songs all sound as if he knew he was going. Whether or not he knew he was going to OD, he knew he was leaving.
Right.
But I don't know. Not my favorite Mac Miller album, to be honest with you.
No,
but Swimming isn't my favorite either.
I'm trying to pull that comment up because I can blaze through it real quick, but I'm not reading the whole thing. But it's long story short, it goes, the man knew he was leaving Earth one way or another soon, so many of these songs are like suicide notes or reminiscences on his death. It's kind of unnerving, really. Damn, Mac. Dude was on his Bob Dylan Beatles ballad shit on this, and I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you check out any of the songs I sent you yesterday?
I did.
All right, so Self-Care.
Because
that is the best song. That's my favorite Mac Miller song.
Well, see, I think it's important for like your people to know, for them to know that I never really fucked with Mac Miller.
Most of them didn't either. There are a couple loyal, listeners who are like all about Mac Miller, but for the most part, I'd say not too many people fucked with him. Not to get back onto the Eminem thing, Danny, but I want to ask everybody then. Do you guys feel like it was a dick move for Music to Be Murdered By to be released on the day that Mac Miller's posthumous album?
I don't.
No, it's fucking hip hop. There's competition all the time. I don't feel like if it was disgraceful for him to do it, it was disgraceful for fucking Halsey to do it too.
Right.
Well then, and so if you look at Apple Music right now, Circles is number 1.
No doubt, yeah.
Music to Be Murdered By is number 2. If you look at Google Music, Music to Be Murdered By is number 1 and Circles is number 2.
Let's see. I wonder how I can check that out on Spotify.
And we'll probably lose like a couple followers for my comment here, but I felt like most of our Twitter feed was about streaming Mac Miller's album. I don't think any of those motherfuckers fucked with him before Eminem dropped his album.
No, most of it
like,
was to try
I feel
to
like
make
just
Circles
being petty.
number 1.
No, I feel like they were just being petty. They didn't want Eminem's
they didn't want
album.
Eminem to be on top.
So I mean, I'm gonna say it how it is. I feel like it was a cop out to start saying stream Mac Miller's because they didn't want Eminem to be number 1, which is bullshit.
No, there's a ton. When I was going through, because I was on the Hip Hop Head subreddit, and they were talking about that album. Because like I said, I'm not big on Mac. I never have been. So I kind of wanted to do a little bit of research before we started talking about it today. And when I'm listening to these people talk about, I'm reading these people talking about how it was almost like one of the comments that I read to where it was like, it's almost kind of like saying bye to that friend that you have in high school that you know you're not going to see again.
Right.
And I'm like,
which kind of goes with
shit.
the whole he's ending the loop. We're done. This is it. This is my farewell.
Yeah, and that kind of hit me because the dude goes, this is me saying bye to a friend, and you relate to somebody that you don't even know, and you're sitting there bawling over not only their death, but their music as well. So when I said before earlier about how you relate to hip hop, how you relate to music, that in itself shows that Mac is something to someone, and just because I don't fuck with it doesn't mean that it's not good music. It's not my kind of music. I don't feel
like it's hip hop. Circles is not a hip hop album.
I couldn't get down like when you were saying last night, like it kind of reminds you of like a blues album kind of. Yeah, and I get that vibe.
What did they say? Like 3 songs consisted of rapping, and they weren't all rap. the whole like it was just rap for a very few seconds.
Yeah, like I get that vibe from it to where it was something more like they call it the psychedelic hip hop.
Yeah, that's
like,
what Danny put it
Yeah,
as.
it's funkiness.
Yeah, like it was a weird album for me to where I listened to it twice last night. So I don't want to say that I got all of it because there's no way in the world that you can listen to an album 2 times and say, oh yeah, I'm good with that. I'm gonna put it down for now. But
No. I'm gonna give it a couple more listens, but it's not my favorite album. I will go back to the Divine Feminine before I listen to this a second time. You know what I mean?
well, shit, one of the mixtape, the kids mixtape,
Which is good.
like that's all these people were talking about.
That's a really good album. Danny's favorite MGK remix is called Louder.
Yep.
It is remixing Mac Miller's Loud. And Mac Miller's did a pretty good job too, but I'm meant to say Louder is probably better. Mac Miller wasn't something that I was hyped to until after he died. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like Little Peep. I had no idea who the fuck that was until he died.
I think we started getting into Mac Miller, seriously, a couple months before he died.
Yeah, right before he passed away.
I
Danny
was
introduced
pissed
me to
off
Self-Care.
because I'm like, I just met you.
Yeah, Self-Care. That song turned me on. Self-Care was a really good... It might have just been a time in my life, too. It might have just hit the right nerve. I don't know. Mac Miller's not in my book of top 5.
See, and I personally, for me, I'm not even putting Mac anywhere in the conversation of top 10, top 15, top 20.
All right, so I will put him in the conversation of top 10 independent.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have very many independent artists who are as influential. I mean, I get it. Like, you have, like, that whole SoundCloud movement that we were just talking about.
Right.
Between, like, X.
All right, so we'll say mainstream independent.
Okay.
Like Macklemore, Macklemore and Tech Nine, pretty much.
I was going to say, there's
like,
not a whole lot of them.
Yeah, I mean...
So, like, when you start talking, like, I'm going to transition this a little bit, and I know that I'm sure that you have people out there who absolutely love X.
I do not. All right, so the only X I know is motherfucking Dark Man X. And that's DMX, for those who don't know.
I didn't know that.
I do not see that Triple X Tentacion or whatever as X.
Tentacion.
I don't. Although Chris D'Elia, who we are big fans of Chris D'Elia, he says that dude had some solid music. I don't like it.
See, like, I can dismiss... I first of all, I don't want to wish bad on anyone, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that the man deserved what happened. But when you start talking about what happened with him and his baby mom, that's when I immediately...
Okay, all right, we're gonna pause one more time to show this man Kevin some more of that Chris Webby. All right, so if any of you guys wanted to hear what I played for Kevin, it was called Raw Thoughts 2. It was about pretty much every piece of shit that holds, like, I don't know.
Still breathes air. Some of them don't.
What do they
No,
hold? Like societal power of some sort?
They're influence.
Yeah,
they're people of influence.
Danny, what do you got? What do you got for us? I'm cool with this being long. Kevin's got an hour before he has to go, so it might be your longest episode this year.
I don't have anything.
It's January.
Like, what do you want to talk about other than Eminem?
Well, that was pretty much. Not to bring him back up, but like I just did. Where do we stand on the Manchester bombing being brought up and used to pretty much persecute him?
People want to sit there and, like you said, be sad when it's convenient for them. You know, come on now. That man raised, what did we say, 2 million euros in 24 hours?
Yeah.
To try and benefit the families?
All right, so what people are saying is, if I rape someone and then donate money to her, is that all right?
No, but he didn't blow the bomb. He didn't make the bombs go off.
Where are these people when Pete Davidson made a joke about it? Because I'm pretty sure no one other than Ariana Grande's fans said anything. But since you're talking about like the MGK fans and everyone,
right? Yeah.
Pete Davidson made a joke. You know, MGK's best friend, one of them, about the Manchester bombing. So, and that was Ariana's fiance for a couple months. So
for 30 years,
just FYI.
Eminem has been using. Well, not there. We'll say for at least 21 years, Eminem's been using major events as a part of his music. He's been reminding you that, the world is not fucking perfect.
And not only that, he's edgy. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows these people, okay, everybody in today's society, oh God, here we go, we're going to get on this. Everybody in today's society wants to be offended about something.
Yeah.
So we listened to a podcast. They're called the Brooklyn Boys Podcast. They're fucking hilarious. David Brody often says, if you're offended by everything, then nothing is offensive.
Right.
Ooh.
It's true.
So, but you want to be offended by the fact that people want to use this bathroom. You want to be offended by this person wants to do this, or they want to go here, or they want to do that, or I said this.
Yeah.
Ow, oh my God, like that's so mean. You can't say that. You can't do that. Why can't I? People, they want to say, oh, well, it's my First Amendment right, my freedom of speech, blah, blah, blah. And that's totally correct. But you have to be able to be accountable for your actions. And let's be real. If anybody's going to back their shit up, it's Eminem. You want to talk about being offended because he said, I'm going to go off like the bomb at an Ariana Grande concert. What about when he was talking about raping and killing his mom?
Yeah. That was
Right. What about I'll add all these kids from Columbine, have them in a line, add a revolver and a 9.
In a 9. Right. Like, to the point they actually edited that out.
Yeah, and then he calls it out in Rap God. He's like, see if I get away with it now that I ain't as big as I once was.
and that's what I'm talking. Like, he has lived his entire career off of being that shock jock, that shock rapper.
With that being said, all of our people fuck with MGK hardcore. I fuck with MGK really hardcore. I have a lot of his shit. And I know that on his very first song, Breaking News, that was pretty big. Because he has 2, Breaking News 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. But on Breaking News 1, he says, I want to put an album like Tupacalypse until I'm killing everybody like in Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How is that not offensive?
Ooh.
Come on, if you're offended by everything, you're offended by nothing.
But also, on the flip side to that, MGK is not, and I'm sorry, I feel this way. He is not, never will be, never has been, never will be
as
big on the same platform as Eminem.
Now, so here's where my argument comes in on that. I think MGK, me and my buddy Ryan were talking about it. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. In today's era, you have social media to kind of project you. But then you have streams per sale. Back in Eminem's initial releases, you didn't have streams. You had to sell albums. So to go diamond selling 10 million copies, you actually sold 10 million copies. To go diamond streaming, you have to sell, 1.5 trillion fucking streams?
Yeah, but it's also a convenience factor now.
No doubt.
Before you had to actually go down to shit, I hate to even say it, like the record store. Where did we buy CDs from?
No. I just told everybody last week that Record Store Day 2020 is April 18th into market. We still fuck with records.
Yeah, okay, I love vinyl, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, where's the record store at? You have one down the street.
Yeah, you're right. There aren't too many record stores. I see it.
FYE doesn't even sell CDs anymore.
It's hard to compare accolades when the persons that you're comparing didn't have the same opportunities.
Or the opportunities or disadvantages. But what I'm getting at is, if you sold 10 million copies of that record, you had to have 10 million copies of that record. How many, say, potential sales were missed because the store didn't have that record?
Oh, no doubt. I got you. I see what you're saying. I mean?
Now you have a convenience factor to where everybody has a computer in their pocket.
But that's awfully rough, man. 1,500 streams if you're a paid subscriber. If I'm since I pay for Spotify, 1,500 from me as opposed to somebody who uses it for free has to listen to 2,500.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it's more difficult, especially, let's talk about the attention span now.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, you're just oversaturated with dirt. Oh, here's something good. Dirt, you know?
And I used to be that kid to where I would buy a CD just for the single. I wouldn't listen to the whole album. I would just want to listen to the single and then just be like, oh, okay, whatever. So, yeah, I help aided in, like, I hate to admit it, one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time in my eyes is Stankonia. And I wanted to listen to Sorry Miss Jackson. You know?
No doubt. Like I'm with you. Danny and I, since the streams per sale is a big deal nowadays, if you genuinely fuck with an artist, you should purchase it.
Right.
Every music artist has their own individual merch store. They all offer some kind of bundle. Buy the fucking album. Streaming it ain't getting them big. Streaming it ain't helping them. It's actually, if you stream on Spotify, I think you get 80 cents for every 2,500 streams. If like Chris Webby said in one of his lines, "Hey dog, I've been bumping you on Spotify." Yeah, well, thanks for that like tenth of $1,000 guy, and he's right.
Mm-hmm.
You get like 80 cents for 2,500 streams.
Okay, but then also on the flip side, I don't have Spotify, but if you were to look up Logic's, I think it was, what is it, the 1-800?
Oh yeah,
it has something ridiculous, like almost 200 million streams. Last I looked at it.
Yeah, well, we got Google at the fingertips. 1-800 streams as of right now. Yo, are our dogs barking? What the fuck is that noise?
I think it's the TV.
Oh, all right.
I was talking about just on Spotify.
Oh shit. Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
My
just pull it
bad.
up on
My bad.
Spotify.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right. You're right. Logic's actually one of my favorite artists. We just went and seen him. 886 million.
Okay, so you have 886 million streams on one song. That's bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not even. We're not even talking about YouTube views. You get almost 1 billion YouTube views.
Well, that's $283,000 if it's 2,500 streams per 80 cents
Off of one song.
Yeah,
Off of one song that. Yeah, that's the residual.
You're able to reach way more audience. Because like you're saying, 886 million people are not going to buy an album.
No. So if you can get a bigger audience, and I get it, even though it is just that, like we were just saying about me buying that one album just to listen to that single. Now, if I only want to listen to Godzilla, I'm going to stream the hell out of that. And yeah, it might hit that 800 million streams or whatever. And then M just made what, $23,000 off of one song?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
And that's not even your main source of income.
What about you, Danny? I feel like there's something more sincere with purchasing a CD than, listening to it. Although I do stream the fuck out of shit, I like to purchase my shit as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. We usually get something from our artist if they have something new.
Anybody who puts out a vinyl, we buy if we fuck with them. Not just anybody. So
I think it also has to do with that old school tangible. You want to have it, feel it, hold it, touch it.
That's just like with video gaming nowadays. I want to purchase my motherfucking video game because I want a hard copy.
Dude, don't even get me started on game. I hate the fact that I have to download it now. Like, I get, it gives me more space, blah, 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 whatever. But if I got a 500 gigabyte Xbox, don't sell me a game like my Destiny, okay, Destiny 2. That damn game takes up over 100 gigs.
Yeah, dude, that's how Red Dead was. What the fuck, dude?
Like, get out of here.
On top of me owning a disc.
Right.
What the fuck?
And then I can't play the damn game without having the disc in the Xbox.
So Google Stadia was, so I talked to Ed about this at work. Google Stadia isn't officially launched yet. It's still in pre-launch. Anybody who has it was a founder, and that means, what you looking for, your little e-cigarette?
Yeah, I dropped it.
What that means is kind of like beta. So it's still in beta. So I can't be too upset with it. It's all right, but it's not like great. But they promised, gaming on the go, which you would think that like since I can play Google Stadia on my phone, I should be able to play it anywhere on my phone. You're only allowed to play it where you have Wi-Fi. So that really takes away from gaming on the go.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? That kind of reminds me of your companies, your tech companies. Because remember Google Glass?
Yeah.
I was so damn excited about Google Glass because I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to have a pair of glasses where I can just put on and it's going to be a heads-up display and yada, yada, yada. And then come to find out, they want to release it and say, hey, this is what we're working on. This is going to be available to you for $1,500.
Oh.
And this was, I want to say like 5, 6, 7 years ago maybe. Me at 22, 23 years old was like, I'm going to save up $1,500 and I'm going to walk around with some damn Google Glass.
Yeah, my dumb ass.
And I'm so excited about it. And then you come to find out, they're like, the tech's not there yet.
Google has been known to do that, man. They pick up these fucking
feel like
projects.
Stadia's gonna do that.
No, Stadia, they're still they better fucking deliver. They're gonna have a lot of angry motherfuckers.
It's gonna be just like Oculus. You remember?
Oculus is still doing all right though.
Yeah, But that was before what Oculus was doing his thing, and then Facebook ended up picking it up and trying to and pretty much saving the program.
All right.
Because Oculus had gone down completely. They're saying, hey, this is going to be this amazing VR experience, and then all of a sudden, nothing comes of it.
I feel VR is we're a couple years away from VR being the biggest thing ever. I used to think it was a fad. I even told Danny, I was like, fuck that. VR is a fad. But no, it's not. VR is here to stay. We just gotta, kind of master the mechs on it, mechanisms. Yeah, the fuck, man.
English is hard.
Did you see? Because they make an omnidirectional pad for in-home use. Okay, so what it is it's like this little trackpad. It's obviously omnidirectional, as you can walk in any direction. Mm-hmm. If that were affordable for everybody, VR would be it.
Dude, you know what I'm waiting for? You remember Gamer? The Gerard Butler flick?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about controlling people. But you remember that room that he had to where he was just on, and then all of the walls and everything surrounding him was the game. That's what I'm waiting for. I hope that happens in my lifetime to where not my lifetime, but to where I'm still kind of like
where
a young man.
Where you could actually do it.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen when I'm 90.
Yeah, or 90 and can't move
so
for shit.
Off.
So Danny is a really big fan of Bethesda.
Yep.
Not all things Bethesda, but most things Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine playing Fallout on an omnidirectional VR pad?
I'll be so excited.
Skyrim.
Like you're holding up your fucking weapon and you're actually walking around the wasteland. Wouldn't that,
Well, it depends. When I carry my shit ton of stuff on my back, do I have to...
Yeah, are you over encumbered? Do I have to...
Do I have to feel like I'm carrying a shit ton of stuff on my back?
No, you're just walking in sand. That's all. But see,
that'd be cool too. It could to have an effect to where maybe your omnidirectional pad does have more resistance.
Mm-hmm.
That could be cool. We might be onto something here. we might be onto something.
Yeah, we're not. You guys can steal our ideas as long as you have money.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have money to make them happen.
Hey, just send me $1 or $2 afterwards. We
send me the trackpad.
Yeah, I like that better. We'll be your test subjects.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Yeah, so we just took a complete 180 at least, because we went from music to video gaming to where are we going, Danny?
Why do you keep asking me?
Typically, she's the only person that I do the podcast with, and whenever I start to feel like we got to change the subject, I go, where are we going, Danny?
So, I mean, shit, man. We've been friends for how long? You know, I can talk. We can go wherever.
So we've discovered one of our shortest podcast episodes was one of our most completed. Not because all the episodes are complete, but one of our quickest completed. You know what I mean? And obviously that makes sense. But I'm talking instead of days, people had it done day of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Danny is a firm believer that we should have shorter episodes. I'm a firm believer that we should have longer episodes. Where do you stand?
Me personally, with my attention span, I want something. I don't care whether it's short or long. I need content. I need a vibe. I need substance. I need something there. You give me something, I'll tune in I'll listen to a 3-hour podcast. That doesn't bother me.
Most of my favorite episodes from my favorite podcasters are the longer ones. Chris D'Elia, though, sometimes that dude. Nothing against you. If you ever hear this, man, you are legit, but you kind of beat some shit to death, dude.
Mm-hmm. Make sure it's fucking dead. You smack it around
you fucking
a couple
curb
times.
stomp that shit 15 times. It's dead.
It's dead.
You do. It was in you. Did you watch that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
Listen. I am Joel Goldberg. Listen, we can.
Don't say that. Get the fuck up out of my mouth.
Listen, I'm talking about minus the murder and shit. I'm telling you right now, I have not. Every guy out there has a little bit of Joe inside of him. You just have to be man enough to admit it. Every last one of us do.
All right. So I tell my wife that I'd kill anybody for you, but I'm never gonna kill anybody for you.
So listen, I'm not even talking about in that aspect. I'm talking about if I meet a girl, I want to know a little bit about her. Everybody does it, and females do it especially. They go through, they get on the Google, and they start talking, and they start trying to figure out who it is or what kind of history you might have or blah, blah, blah.
I guess.
You know what I mean? You do a little bit of research before you go out on a date with somebody. I mean, you don't have to worry
you
about
schedule,
that.
oh, hey, man, give me that bailout phone call.
You say, hey, you know what? I need to know about this person a little bit. But my dude, he took it just a little too far. Now, I'm not saying that I sat there and, I looked up a girl's address and then I go over to her house and start staring in her window.
Yeah, I just implant myself into her daily routine.
Yeah, I'm not taking it that far.
That's actually how I got Danni.
Ooh.
Little known story. I started watching her from afar, and like each day I would just get like 5 meters closer.
And then you decided, like, you know what? I can fix you.
No, she wasn't broken. She wasn't broken.
Well, okay. So you might have saw that she didn't. She like. I saw this meme. It said, you like hard tacos. I see you sitting there eating a hard taco. You must not be refined to the glory of a soft taco. I can fix you. Like that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about she's broken emotionally.
So I feel like most relationships are, if you're not the broken one, then you're the one doing the fixing. You know what I mean?
I think every relationship has a reacher and a settler.
Yes.
I think that no matter how you look at it.
So thank you for settling, Danni.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, but let's be real. Let's take ourselves back to 2012, Chris. Would I have gotten a house? Would I have quit all the drugs? Would I have, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I feel maybe not fixed, but guided.
Yeah.
See, like that. Now that's the cute type shit that I'm into. Okay, like I'm a hopeless romantic. Let's be real. All right, I want to believe in that fairy tale ending and blah blah blah. And when you sit there and you start talking about stuff like that, to where it's almost a sense of humility, to where you look at it and say, "Yeah, I wasn't a completed project, but you were able to look past that and see the potential that I have."
Man, I bet you she's blushing hard over there.
Thank God I'm not looking
right?
at you guys.
Dude, what the fuck?
Let me see you real quick.
No.
She's all about that red face anytime. No doubt.
But that's what I'm getting to. To whereas, yeah, we're gonna figure this shit out together. But you know what? You gonna get your act straight. You gonna get right. I'm gonna make sure you get right.
Well, yeah, I think that's part of why she lets me freedom have the freedom of self-expression all over the house. You know what I mean? Like, all right, that's cool. You're dumping our money into dumb shit, but it's not the dumb shit you were.
So it can go. You can sit there and I'm sure she rationalizes it and say, okay, would we rather the money be spent on this or this? Would we rather you be doing this or this? Would we rather this be your obsession or this be your obsession? You always have to have that compromise and that understanding in any type of relationship that you're in. But I mean, hell, that's a different conversation for a different time.
Hey, you want to hear something cool, Danni?
What?
There is a podcast with it's out of Australia, and they gave us a shout out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they're called the Three Little Pigs Podcast Show, and that was their shout out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ain't that cool?
That's nice.
That's dope. That's dope as shit. Cuyahoga Valley Radio Network hit us up to do an episode that they will air on their internet radio station.
We just have to be a little bit more
be family friendly.
Yeah, we can't swear or nothing.
Yeah. So, which actually I think might be a fun project because shit,
we're
man.
gonna have to stop and go the whole thing because
no
you
doubt.
just said shit just now.
Ah, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
Chicago balls, damn.
I think we're allowed to say shit, but I'm not sure.
What is that one joke by George Carlin? Things you can't say on TV. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker. It just goes on forever. He goes on. All right, so we all know where hip-hop is as of this week. Eminem's going to get his 10th consecutive #1 album. Where do you guys stand on how impressive that is? Just think about it. It's not 10 albums that went #1. It's 10 in a row.
I think it's impressive. I mean,
now,
not very many artists.
Do you believe the argument of, sales don't mean shit?
No.
All right, because that's what everybody says.
Because obviously someone's buying it, and if you're buying it, obviously it means something. I mean, I don't understand their.
I feel like that's why
logic.
Eminem's still so good, because he doesn't care about the accolades, the money. Like he mentions he could have, if it was the money, I'd have quit 20 fucking years ago, pretty much. It's just as long as you are alive and you're capable, you're gonna want to be the best one to do it.
He said, "I wiped my ass with $6 million."
Yeah, that's crazy. I had enough money in 2002 to burn it in front of you. The younger me, no, you're the whack me, so bitter and so true.
I'd rather be the 80-year-old me than the 20-year-old you. Now, let's.
All right, so back to Kill Shot. I forgot to tell you my favorite bar. You dress better, I rap better. Is that a death threat or a love letter?
Oh, no. The one that got me was when right before he was what was it? It was something like you have to fuck Kim in my sandal. Like
I have to give him my flannel because if I had to give him my flannel to fuck Kim in my sandals because as long as I'm alive, he'll have to live in my shadow or something.
Yeah. And I just go. I never forget. I was in my car and I'm driving down the highway and I just put my head down and I almost ran off the road because like I was mourning the death.
But you gotta respect that. At that week, G-Eazy tried to drop a diss on MGK.
Yeah.
G-Eazy was dating Halsey. MGK and Halsey have been known to hook up. So the line that inspired that line, the line that inspired that bar was, already fucked one rapper's girl this week, don't make me call Kim. That's some ballsy shit to say to Eminem, dude.
Yeah. And then it came back with, I'll bury, what is it? Lethal injection, bury you 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
Like, and right when he
Gunner, you ain't even a bow and arrow.
Like when he dropped that, he was lethal injection 6 feet deep, and I was
you can feel the rage.
I was waiting for it, and I was waiting for that next because there was that not a beat drop, but it was just like that brief pause right when the transition happened, and I was thinking that's when Angry M's going in, like I'm gonna just break you.
Yeah, I'm still with Doc, but this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him that he's got something hot.
Ooh, you know what? I'm surprised. Listen, out of the whole...
The backlash that he didn't get for the... tell him that Diddy's the one who got the hit that got Pac killed.
And nobody said anything
Nobody said a fucking thing. I was expecting so much hate.
Nobody said a word.
A common conversation when you're debating MGK and Eminem. Everybody's like, well, MGK... His did better because he came with the facts. He came with shit. And Eminem, he didn't come with it. Eminem came with a response. He responded to everything MGK said.
Yep.
That is what a response to a diss is.
Yep.
He doesn't need to come with more dirt. He came with a response.
Right. And what was it? He's sitting there. He goes, I'm sitting there taking a shit. Need reading material. Dictionary. Like, oh my God.
All right. So... I know where I stand, and I am a firm believer that a call from Eminem to Interscope could very well be likely for why. Because it was evident that MGK's career was shelved. We just nobody knew why. Because at one time, he had 3 music videos on MTV, and then like literally a day later, they're gone. You know what I mean? So whether or not Eminem was involved is beyond me, but whether or not Eminem could do something like that is definitely possible.
Oh, most definitely. But then you also kind of sit there and you wonder, like, in the back of the house type shit, to where you almost wonder if it's like MGK and Eminem, there was that mutual respect there for a little while, for a long while. And then the whole Haley tweet happened to where it was just like, was it really that big of a deal?
All right, so do you sympathize with MGK? Do you feel like it wasn't a big deal, or do you feel like the dude was 22, he should have known better?
No, he should have knew better. Like, he was 22, she was 16. Like,
no
he should
doubt,
have knew better. Like that's it. You leave that alone. But I'm almost looking at it and saying, what if M was like, hey, you know what? Put a diss track out real quick. Let's pump your record. Let's kind of boost you up. Let's get you some clout real quick.
I actually read into this theory, and I kind of see it. I can believe it because somebody had mentioned that Rap Devil was on SoundCloud months ago. Well, months before it released.
No shit.
So I don't know the validity of it. I didn't research it much further. But I didn't write it off either. You know what I mean?
See, I can almost see if something... Okay, so let's go down that rabbit hole real quick. To where M gets him shelved, especially after he starts talking that shit about Haley. Okay? MGK comes back to him and says, hey, look, you know what? We did this apology thing, whatever. Because the whole kamikaze, when he even acknowledged it in the album, he goes, it took you fucking 12 years to make a response? Like, now all of a sudden you want to say something?
So... Danny and I actually talked about this, and Danny had generated the theory that Kamikaze was going to be the last album. All right, and I believed it. And if anybody were to step into those shoes, I feel like MGK would be a honorary adversary to do so. Like, I feel like he would be worthy of it.
I think he'd be edgy enough. I want to see like a G-Eazy.
So I feel like I do feel like there's a lot of talk that Rap Devil and Killshot might have been set up, and if you think about the monetary value of each track, it definitely seems to favor Interscope hardcore. Where do you stand, Danielle?
I have no comment.
All right, so just on the whole Rap Devil versus Killshot, what is your thought?
What do you mean? Who won?
No, we don't say
won,
that.
But whatever. What do you want me to say, Chris?
I
think it was planned.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
Do you
all
feel like it could have been a
coordinated.
deal that they made up long ago?
Probably.
Yeah, I can see something like that. No bullshit. I could see something like that, especially when you start talking about it, because, like I said, the whole kamikaze thing, when he started talking, when M brought it up out of nowhere, to where you're just like, wait, this is, now all of a sudden you want to say something? So when MGK ended up dropping that in Rap Devil, I would go, he does. I'm not saying that MGK.
He came hard.
Yeah, I'm not saying that MGK didn't have a good track, because he did.
I need to stop everybody who doesn't know. All right, I'm over here in Man Bun Kelly. That was solely for a movie role.
Yeah.
He's also an actor. He had a man bun for a movie called Nerve. I hate the fucking...
Which
Man Bun Kelly. That's such a stupid insult.
I liked his man
Do your
bun.
fucking research.
But whatever.
It is. It's a dumb insult. Do your research. That'd be like if Eminem had found a picture from him filming SLC Punk's Part 2. Liberty Spike Kelly? Come on, dude. It's you can't hate on somebody for a picture of a movie role.
So what about when he called him the what was it, blonde? What did he say?
Blonde toothpick?
No, Dom cornball, blonde berry cornball or something like that.
I don't. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not opposed to hating on physical appearance, but it's not like the man bun is something that is rocked every day.
See, and that's what
I do know that your beard's weird is what inspired
Your
it.
beard's weird.
That's the corniest fucking whack diss I've ever heard, dude. Why would you say that? Come on, Kels. Why the fuck would you say your beard's weird?
Beard's weird.
And then not Stuart. So we watched this movie called. You ever watch a show called Letterkenny?
No.
Oh, you should. Do you have Hulu?
Oh wait, is that the Canadian?
Yes, dude.
The Canadian,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, so there's a dude named Roldo. Stuart.
Yeah, that's like the Trailer Park Boys almost.
Well,
kind of,
yeah, kind of.
like
but
in the
way
country.
better,
right.
way better.
Yeah,
because Trailer Park Boys suck. No, I'm just joking. Trailer Park Boys is good, but not as good.
Say.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Definitely worth looking further into. I feel like if you ride hard for Eminem, you should probably just open your mind and try to listen to Kells. And if you ride hard for Kells, open your mind and try to listen to M. Try to see why both sides have such a hardcore following.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. And I do. I respect it. I respect the EST hustle. You know, I mean, shit. When I remember when Cleveland dropped, I was bumping that shit hard.
Cavaliers were bumping it pretty hard too.
Okay, I was there at the parade when MGK is.
Oh, no shit.
Like I was there for
No
it.
shit.
Like, I mean, I get it, you know. But like I said, in this one particular case, in this one particular instance, to where, yeah, who had the better diss track? MGK had the better diss track. M had an even better response.
Okay.
In my eyes.
Yeah.
In my eyes, M won that because, yes, the diss track was a diss track. The response was better than the diss track.
And not every bar has actually been picked apart from the response yet. Like, it's probably going to be about a year before everybody's like, oh man, I figured out the whole fucking song. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, like, M's music is like a damn algorithm.
I will say there was a couple bars that Kells had, like, somebody help your man somebody help your man's up. The real Slim Shady can't stand up. I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but
Text me to Addy, I'm pulling up Scrappy. Now, I know MGK is known to be from, he's from Cleveland to most of his listeners. He is. Mm-hmm. He's from a suburb 8 miles outside of Cleveland called Shaker Heights. Now, he did move to Cleveland, right before finishing high school, I guess, so he might have some hood scrapping in him, but he ain't G.
Listen, I ain't fucking fighting MGK.
Nah.
Hey, did you see that video?
Yeah. You getting stomped by his peeps.
You see listen, me and him got the same body style. I think he's about what, 6'6"?
Yeah, something like that.
Me, he's 6'6", I'm 6'5". All right, I probably got an extra maybe like 10 pounds on the dude. All right, no.
Oh, I'll say he could probably throw down. But I saw a comment the other day on Twitter, and they're like, "You guys know Kells is a G." All right, use the term G very loosely, okay? There was another video of, is this him with the crip walk? Don't let him do that in the wrong area.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's shit that people take very serious.
Yeah.
You fucking crip walk somewhere in Compton, and you don't look like you belong. What's gonna happen?
Shit, he can't even crip walk and you can't be white,
right?
And in the Bloods and Crips. So yeah, you're gonna have Bloods and Crips stomping you out at the same fucking time.
So yeah, like very loosely use gangster terms with this man. He is a really good rapper who might have had a rough upbringing and can probably throw down.
Right.
He ain't a G. I'm not a G, but I can fight. You know, it's not. They don't go hand in hand.
I'm a G. Danny G.
Yeah, she is. Danny Goldring. Yeah. So we are a married couple who has never cared for her to change her last name.
Yeah.
And people like ask
Hate
her all
it.
the time, like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't have his last
Never
name?
changed it.
Why does it matter?
But in real talk.
Okay, so for me, I look at it and say that it's almost like a unity thing. Like, yeah, I get people want to talk like old times to where that was a way for a man to control a woman by making her change her name and show signs of possession and yada yada. Okay, I get it. I understand that. But we're talking about fucking 2020 here. If y'all a married couple and don't want to change your last name, you don't have to change your last name.
It's not even just that.
When I address letters and stuff, I use his name. It's not
her
like,
career field, man. Changing your name is not simple.
No,
it's not like extravagantly hard, but it's not like, hey guys, here's my paperwork that says I'm, Danny McKeon, which is a horrible. Nothing against my name, but we'll just stick with what she's got.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You guys do you. You don't let anybody determine your relationship. But now, me, when I do get married, do I want my wife to take my name? I don't care if she does or if she doesn't. I would
that shit is harsh, dude.
Hey, I see what you did there. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would hope that she would, But I look at it and say, okay, look, as long as our kid has my last name, that's all that matters.
No doubt.
And
I think that's all just what you put on the birth certificate. So,
all right, I gotta bounce out.
All right, so where's your Today I Learned then?
Oh shit. Here we go. So real quick, I gotta pull the screenshot up because I didn't memorize. I suck at life. So today I learned that in France, planned obsolescence is actually illegal. French authorities use this law to investigate reports that Apple deliberately slowed down older iPhones via software updates. You remember when that happened?
Mm-hmm.
I do, and I can see how that could be illegal. We're gonna pause real quick, and Danny and I will get back to this after Kevin leaves. Say goodbye, everybody. I had realized there was nobody to say goodbye, so you guys say goodbye to Kev, pretty much. Man, time sure does fly when you're in a conversation. That was the first time I've caught up with Kev in a long time, as well as a conversation that we both wanted. So, Danny, how do you feel about this planned obsolescence?
Are we against or for it?
Yeah, where do you stand?
Well, I'm against it for sure because that's some bullshit. It's just making sure that you have to buy the newest of everything, even if you don't want to.
So I researched a little further into that while I was here. And the 5 products that... all right, examples of planned obsolescence include, and this one really bothers me, limiting the life of a light bulb. Yeah. That's fucked up. Coming out with a new car model or a new model for a car every year with a minor change, short-lasting nylon stockings, irreplaceable batteries, and tech products, which is fucked.
They still do that fucking short, the nylon stockings.
Yeah, recently. You've had one rip on you.
Yeah, bullshit.
So, the inability to refill an ink cartridge. Oh, yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
Man, hey, America. Where the fuck is you at on this, you capitalistic, greedy motherfuckers?
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Danny, what you got for Today I Learned?
Today I learned our mouths produce more saliva before we vomit to protect our teeth from erosion. The acidity in vomit is enough to wear them down.
What do you mean? To wear what, down your teeth?
Yeah, your teeth. That's why you produce more saliva before you vomit.
Oh, shit. I didn't think about that. All right. Do you notice? Can you notice yourself producing more saliva?
I don't know. I haven't noticed. Because usually I'm nauseous and that's all I care about.
So, you ready for my Today I Learned?
Yeah.
Today I learned that Robert Downey Jr. only got clean because of his girlfriend, now wife, saw him on drugs. Gave him an ultimatum of quitting or losing her. He stopped at a Burger King on the coast and threw his drugs in the ocean. She is now known around Hollywood as the miracle that saved Robert Downey. So can you imagine why I picked that one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Does it hit close to home?
Yeah.
Yep. So, Dan, that is the miracle that saved Chris McCune. That's what Danny is. Because that was me. That was your ultimatum. And that's where we're at now. Email us at WTFDaveandChris@gmail.com. Why Dave and Chris, Danny?
Because we still like Dave.
We still like Dave. But as you can tell, Dave, we've been getting some more hosts, man. People be coming on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to bring that game talk, yo. No, I mean, that was pretty cool talking with Kevin. I know you don't really care about the Eminem talk.
No.
But I appreciate your input.
Well, I didn't have much to put into
I know.
because you crash coursed me on the Eminem album yesterday, most of it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to remember any of these lyrics, so this is going to be a shitty fucking episode.
No, I think we got ourselves a pretty good one here.
Well, yeah, between you and fucking Kevin.
Lovers quarrel?
No.
No, not even worth a fight.
No.
What else we got? What is that called? You know what? We'll just go ahead and put it on the outro like we do every week. So with that said, talk to you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, follow, retweet. You can find us on Twitter at WTFDANNI, the letter N, Chris, obviously. Email us, call us at 859-444-4641. And then what else, Danny? What should they do?
Leave a voicemail?
Well, yeah, but that's with that. Leave us them what?
Oh, give us those 5 stars, bitches.
Them 5 stars on the iTunes, preferably. Thanks, guys. Bye.